Good morning, good welcome. Guys, no matter where you're at around the world, I want to tell you good morning, good afternoon, good evening. No matter where you're at around the world, guys, I want to welcome you to tonight's presentation. And tonight we're going to talk about something incredible. That's the number one. Number two, guys, I have two special guests coming out tonight towards the end of this call. One is the CEO of Mining City, and the other happens to be a top trader and analyst in the industry that's going to talk about Bitcoin Vault. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to jump right into the presentation so we make sure we have time to cover everybody tonight. So this is a presentation, guys. Again, my name is Ari Maccabi, and tonight we're going to talk about who I am, how I got involved, what I found out when I was doing my research and due diligence. We're going to talk about Eyal Avramovich, who he is and why it matters. We're also going to talk about MineBest and Mining City, how it started and came to be, what the partnership is between the two of them. And then we're going to talk about how you can earn a full-time income from home or online or anywhere in the world, guys, with nothing but a laptop and Wi-Fi. So my name is Ari Maccabi. I got involved in network marketing when I was actually enlisted in the military. I was invited one day to go to a meeting. My buddy and I were in the military together. We were looking for a part-time job to supplement. If you guys have ever lived in Southern Cal or been in the military, you know the military doesn't pay a lot. You got some great benefits, but unfortunately, when you're living in Southern California, everybody around you is driving a nice car, living a lavish life, and you want to be part of that. So we started looking for a part-time job. One of those jobs interviews actually happened to be a network marketing company called A.O. Williams. And I will never forget this meeting because when we showed up and he found out it was network marketing, my buddy decided to leave and I decided to stay. And he told me, I'm going to go eat. I'll be back. I'll pick you up in about an hour. And you know what's really funny about this? Because I was in the military, he was in the military, and we were also in Desert Storm at the time. The war was going on, the very first Persian Gulf War. And I saw an opportunity because I believed that everybody in the military was going to need life insurance. And one of the things that I believe in is the A.O. Williams motto was sell term and invest the difference. It was allowing people to basically save money and get all the benefits. And I grew in one of the top 10 leaders in Southern California in A.O. Williams, which today is now Primerica, if you guys know. But I was a top earner also in Equinox and a number 2 money earner in a company called ACI, which was the first company to bring liquid oxygen to market. After I left the network marketing business for a while, guys, I actually got into the automotive industry, starting in Southern California at Toyota Cerritos, and eventually went up to Oregon and entered the market there, DeLon Honda, and eventually into some of the bigger Ford branches, and so on and so forth, where I spent about 11 years of my life. But 10 of those were in Oregon, and one of those were actually in Kansas City. And after actually moving back to Kansas City, where I was born and raised, you know, I had 2 young boys that I got in a custody battle in a divorce. They were ages 3, and the other one was 7 months. And one of the things I realized was I was in an automotive business that was paying me about a third of what I was used to. I wasn't having the time to spend with my kids. So I decided I was going to start a mortgage company out of my house. That company actually grew into 41 states. I sold it in 2006. And while I was there, one of the things that happened is I started generating leads for my mortgage business using cost per acquisition advertising, cost per lead, cost per click, cost per view. And we started generating leads for all 41 branches. When I sold the company, I actually kept that side of the business, and I went into the lead generation business for many years. And we generated leads for real estate agents, you know, mortgage companies, doctors' offices, all types of different verticals. And eventually, network marketing, as it always does, comes calling. It basically brings you back. Once you get network marketing blood inside, guys, it's just something that becomes part of you as a person. And eventually, I came back to my roots. I came back to network marketing, but this time, I came with a brand new set of skills where I could generate thousands and thousands of leads. And that basically put me on the leaderboard in almost every single program that I've ever joined. Now, I'm not telling you this stuff to brag. I just want you to know who I am and what my history is. But in 2017, some things changed in my world. You know, I had joined a lot of things. trusting people's due diligence. And this was the last one. In 2017, I had a company that went sideways on me. They took off with a bunch of my team's money, over $230,000 of commissions that I was owed. And right then I swore to myself I wasn't taking anybody else's word for due diligence anymore, that I was going to take it on my own shoulders. And since that's happened, guys, I've had exactly one program go sideways on me, which has been a good thing. But eventually we got so big in calling out scams, we started our own Facebook group called Is It a Scam on Facebook, where we would do due diligence and we would call out companies and teach people how to do their own due diligence and so on and so forth. And it was while I was there that one of my members came to me and showed me two websites that had an image that looked almost like the one you're seeing on the right. One said Mining City, the other one said Mine Best. And I thought one of these companies is imitating another one. One of them has to be a scam. I found out that Mine Best had been around longer. I called Mining City a scam. And that's where actually things got interesting, because that's when I got a message from Ari Maccabi. He reached out to me on LinkedIn. He was the CEO of Mine Best, and he basically set me straight. He told me that Mining City is not a scam. It's actually their marketing partner. And he provided a bunch of information with me. And as I started to go through the due diligence process, I found out a lot of information. I found out that Ayal had been an inventor, both for the Israeli military and then in the private sector. I found out he started mining cryptocurrency in 2017 when him and his family invested $1.5 million of their own money into a company called Mine Best that they started from the ground floor. That company actually became one of the top 10 mining pools in the world and has awards and accolades from companies all around the world. Ayal is also the creator of Bitcoin Vault. And tonight, we're going to talk about Bitcoin Vault a little more in depth. In fact, hopefully announce some information to you that's going to change everything. But guys, this is the due diligence. As I started my process, I would actually go to Google and I would search for Ayal Abramovich inventor, Ayal Abramovich patents, and you'll find out that there's hundreds of patents in this guy's name. He owns all different types of things, from body fat scales to postal scales to weaving massage robots to batteries of all various sorts to a car, electric car. I mean, all types of things he's invented. His mind is constantly moving and he's always invented, even his cell phone. So, as I track these patents backwards, here's what I want you to understand is the companies that actually were using the products that he invented, he was actually listed on their website. So one of those companies was Thinium, THINIUM.com. And when I clicked on more and then about, this popped up and you can see this little red box that just basically said, Chief Technologist Ayal Abramovich has extensive experience in both military and advanced commercial technology, developing the most innovative and revolutionary products in portable technology today. And then I found him listed on the Gigalinks website. When I searched for Gigalinks Ayal Abramovich, it popped up this screen that actually had him where he was the CEO of Gigalinks. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but while he was at Gigalinks, he created a product called the Gigalinks Converter that they sold to Sony for millions of dollars. And I'm actually going to show you some of these products, guys. This is actually some of the products for Thinium that they've created, all different types of battery applications. This is the Gigalinks Converter they sold to Sony. And this is the weaving massage robot that they sold on QVC, made over $400,000 in a single day, but it's been there multiple times. I mean, they made millions of dollars off the robot. The other thing, though, that I found most impressive was when I was looking for Ayal Abramovich, I started looking up featured speaker and keynote speaker, and I found out that Ayal wasn't just in the mining industry. He was one of the most respected people in the mining industry and actually spoke at live events all around the world dedicated to mining, where he had been the featured or keynote speaker at each and every event, from Bitmain's own World Digital Mining Summit, from Miner Summit. World Digital Mining Summit. Then you have Miner Summit. Then you have you have your team's blockchain summit. There's hundreds of them, literally, that he spoke at all around the world, including South Korea. Now, what happened next was kind of unique because I actually am familiar with Mr. Park on the right, Hanil Park. He'd actually been in another company that I had been in. And he was in the audience when Ayal and Greg, who was the vice president of marketing at MindBest, were in South Korea speaking at an event. And at that event, he had said a bunch of stuff that made Hanil Park feel like he was being taken advantage of at the company he was currently bringing affiliates to. And so they sat down, they had a conversation after through a translator because Mr. Park only speaks Korean, so And during that time, they basically figured out, yes, he was being taken advantage of. His team was actually being taken advantage of, and that frustrated him. And this is where the idea of Mining City began. Because what eventually happened was Greg Rogowski, who was the MindBest vice president of marketing, he actually became the CEO of Mining City, and Hanil Park basically came in as the master distributor for Mining City. And that's the company that we're here to talk about today, guys. Now, for all of you that are out there that you don't know what cryptocurrency is, I'm just going to cover the basics for you just to walk through this really quick. But, cryptocurrency itself is basically digital currency. It's used to complete financial transactions using blockchain technology. It can't be counterfeited. It's got a means of storing value digitally. I mean, think about it like this. People back in the day where I was growing up, my dad always, wanted to acquire gold. But gold is not very handy. If you want to go buy a house or a car in gold, it's going to be a hard process because gold is heavy. Now you have a means where you can actually on your cell phone walk around with millions of dollars in cryptocurrency. So when I say storing value digitally, it's much better. It's easier to use and easier to transfer. And then it does not require the presence of a central authority. There is no central bank or anything basically to block your use of getting an account and so on and so forth. You are the bank in this technology. That's what's beautiful about it. They use something that's called the blockchain, though. The blockchain is basically a chain of blocks that creates a decentralized ledger, and each block contains information and transactions detailing from who's participating in the transaction, meaning the sender and the receiver, the time, the date, the amount transferred, and finally the block stores a unique code called hash, which distinguishes it from other blocks. So this is how it works. Person A sends money to person B. The nodes or the mining network will confirm and verify the transaction, and then the block is given a hash and added to the blockchain. Two ways you can get cryptocurrency in this world. You can buy it from a cryptocurrency exchange or you can mine it, okay? Those are the two best ways to get a proof of work coin. Mining is basically the process of adding transaction records to that cryptocurrency public ledger, the blockchain, as I told you about. And once the block is approved and added to the blockchain, when the miners confirm the transaction and they solve the complex mathematical equation called hash, the first miner to solve this and add the block to the chain receives the block reward in either Bitcoin or Bitcoin Vault, depending on the blockchain they support with their mining hash power. On the blockchain and on the Bitcoin Vault and Bitcoin network, each new block is produced every 10 minutes. After each block is mined, miners start to solve the next mathematical puzzle to obtain the next block reward. So mining in itself, guys, has some different things that actually affect mining, one of which is difficulty. So as more nodes or more computers participate in the mining, the difficulty to solve the block to obtain the reward is adjusted so it averages 10 minutes. And then you have what we call a mining pool. Now, a mining pool is basically where all of the equipment is pooled together. So all their power works together to solve the actual equation. This is very important because the hash rate of an individual computer is not going to fare well when competing against a pool. But if you pool all your machines together, now you have a chance to actually win blocks much easier. And here's why. Your hash rate, so you guys understand, is basically the number of guesses that your miner or your machine can make per second. Then you have the block reward. The block reward, as I said earlier, is the reward you get when you solve that equation called hash. The Bitcoin block reward right now is 6.25 Bitcoins every 10 minutes, and we're at 150 Bitcoin vaults every 10 minutes. Miner power consumption is another thing that we have to be very leery of because right now, like for instance, Bitcoin is really not profitable to mine in about 99% of the world. But in a very few places around the world, it might be slimly, marginally profitable because of the electricity costs. The higher your electricity costs are, the loss of profit is occurring. That's what people don't understand in this space. Then you have your pool fees. which is a percentage of earnings taken for the service of using a pool. That's typically 1 to 3%, on average about 2% across the board. Then you have what we call the TXID, which is the transaction ID that actually is generated to view transactions. So when you send money to somebody or send Bitcoin or Bitcoin Vault to somebody, and then it arrives in their wallet, it's actually given this little link. That little link that you click on opens up a web page, and that's what allows you to view the transactions. That is the TXID. That's going to show you from what wallet it was sent to what wallet it was sent to. You're going to see how much was transferred, the date, the time, the fee that you paid. And it's very, very simple, guys. I mean, the whole process of this is easy. The other advantages that you have is with Bitcoin, we're going to talk about fiat money to Bitcoin. We're going to talk about 4 key points. First off, your creation process. So fiat money is obviously issued by certain institutions and banks around the world. Whereas Bitcoin, anybody can participate in the process as a miner. You have a transaction ledger. The transaction ledger for fiat currency isn't transparent at all. It's operated by central banks and institutions, and you can't see it. But with Bitcoin, the ledger is distributed, meaning transaction history and balances are public and can be viewed by anyone. And then you have your transaction fees, which is the fee basically for remitting money overseas. Is a very big deal. I live in the Philippines, but I'm American. I've sent money home a couple times. The fee is typically very expensive, 150, 200 bucks, pretty easy for even a small amount of money, 2 or 3 grand. Whereas if you send Bitcoin, I've sent as much as $144,000 on one transaction that didn't cost me even close to 100 bucks. In fact, less than $20. So your fees are much lower with Bitcoin over fiat currency. The other advantage you have is if you're sending money overseas through a bank wire, it's roughly going to take 3 days. And here's the bad news. If you go in after 11 o'clock in the morning, it actually is going to take you 4 days. And if it falls on a weekend, those weekend days don't count. Whereas if I send Bitcoin to anybody 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it's going to roughly take 10 minutes. Then you have some potentials with Bitcoin that are actually very unique that really opened a lot of people's eyes. Number one, Bitcoin is only going to have 21 million coins, and the last coin will be mined somewhere in 2140. That creates the scarcity factor, which prevents inflation because no more coins can be issued. So now your coins that you're holding over time are forced to increase in value. The other advantage is the decentralization, because anybody can view everything and it's not controlled by a central bank. This has put you in a much better position with you controlling your own money. You don't pay bank fees. You don't pay any of those things. And then you have your block reward. Every 210,000 blocks with Bitcoin, which is roughly every 4 years, you'll have a halving. Every time that it's went from 50 in the very beginning to 25, then to 12 and a half, and now down to 6 1/4. The next one will be 3.125. And when that happens, guys, that's going to drive the value of the coin up again. There are some disadvantages with Bitcoin, though, also. A lot of us got started in Bitcoin quite late. And unfortunately, the people that were there in the very beginning, they've already mined about 18,400,000 coins. That leaves about 2.6 million left. The transactions, if you make a mistake, you send it to the wrong address, whatever, you cannot reverse those transactions. It's irreversible. And the bad part about all of that, guys, is this: uneven distribution. 61% of all Bitcoin in circulation today is held by a minority of the wallets. Just 0.06% of all Bitcoin wallets hold the majority. So Bitcoin Vault, new coin. This coin is very unique because this coin has 3 keys. Unlike, say, Bitcoin that only has the first key or the private key, we have a second key, which is the cancellation key. Then we have a third key, which is the fast transaction confirmation key. Then you have an even better store of value because now your cryptocurrency is theft proof. And this is not like a hard fork of Bitcoin, guys, like say Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin SV, where the block reward is still 6.25. We mined the Genesis coin from the very beginning. So we're on a unique halving schedule. The nice part is you have much more equal distribution of this coin. And just like Bitcoin, there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin Vault coins in total. Okay. Here's what's unique. When we started, we were at 175 coins, but in May 2020, we dropped to 150. And in November 2020, we're going to drop to 125. And in May 2021, we're going to drop to 100. November 2021 to 75. May 2022, 50. November 2022, 25. May 2023, 12.5. And in November 2023 will be a 6.25, which means we're going to catch up with the block reward of Bitcoin at that time, but we don't actually catch up with Bitcoin quite then. That will actually happen a little later. So this coin is unique. Number one, it's got anti-theft technology. We're going to talk about that more at the end because I do have a special guest on about that. And it's basically built on Bitcoin Core with additional features. So we know it's got a blockchain because it's on the Bitcoin blockchain. We know that this coin is a great coin because Bitcoin is the number one coin on the market. And then we also know that this coin has some flexibility that Bitcoin doesn't have that allows you to have the decision to decide between an ultra fast or an ultra secure transfer. It also gives you the ultimate store of value. So long-term store of value, this coin is great because of the theft proof. After the implementation, you guys are going to be able to see the second and the third key. Every transaction will basically be alerted on chain for 144 blocks and be canceled in an emergency with a recovery key within 24 hours. The reduction of Bitcoin Vault is set to catch the block reward somewhere around 4.5 years, so you guys know. And our hash rate has already surpassed Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV, which makes us the second biggest coin for hash power on the market next to Bitcoin. So let's talk about the partnership. You have a partnership with Mining City and MineBest. And here's the best part about this. MineBest has been mining since January 2017. They have a track record. They have awards. They have accolades. The one thing that they needed more of was marketing. So when Hanil Park came over as the master distributor and Greg actually left MineBest to become the CEO of Mining City, that was the basis of the cooperation. It was to basically expand the marketing and sell more hash power for MineBest. Our transparency is very simple, guys. Out of every single dollar, this is how the money is broken up. So 35% of every dollar goes towards commissions. 2% goes towards salaries of Mining City. MineBest gets 6% for the mining farms, 24% for the miners' purchase and maintenance, 3% for shipping and taxes, 20% for pre-mining, and 10% goes into company profit. So as I said earlier, you have MineBest who already has the experience. They're already a technologically advanced infrastructure company that specializes in cryptographic computing and so on and so forth, guys. MineBest actually has farms in Kazakhstan, China. We're about to open one up in Poland. And you can see all of this, guys, all online at the MineBest YouTube channel. You can see this live, and I encourage you, go take a look at everything. We have the cooperation of agreement between MineBest and Mining City. Just what I explained. MineBest handles all of the infrastructure, all of the mining. Mining City handles all of the marketing and helps everybody in the field basically make the sales for the actual hash power. One thing that we have that is very unique, guys, is because of MineBest, we're actually able to benefit from all of their partnerships and all of their relationships, one of which gives us stable power supply, where we're actually paying 4.75 cents per kilowatt for the electricity to the government of Kazakhstan, thanks to MineBest. We also get to use MineBest Box, which is actually a box that they invented, they created, that allows the cooling system to be activated automatically so it operates without the need for a separate air conditioning unit. As a result, we have lower electricity costs than most mining farms. We also have complete transparency. Anybody can buy hash power for a period of 1,100 days. You can actually use the mining calculator at miningapp.me to calculate your exact earnings every single time. We also have some company stuff, guys, behind us that's pretty awesome. Like one of the things that happened while I was here, they switched all the machines from the Bitmain Antminer S9s all over to the M21Ss from WhatsMiner because they were able to save on electricity. So saving electricity means more money and earnings going into your pocket. So they swapped these all out. That's actually a massive testimony, guys, for me, because I've never seen a company where you bought hash power go in and change all the machines, but they did it. So let's talk about how you guys can get involved. First off, you guys can sign up for Mining City by going back to the person that got you here, that got you invited to see the video. If you don't have somebody that got you invited here, reach out to me on Facebook. I'm happy to plug you in with somebody and help you guys get started. You want to purchase a plan for either Bitcoin Vault or Bitcoin, and I'm going to tell you up front, buy a Bitcoin Vault plan, because that's where you're going to make the most money. 10 days from now, after you buy, it'll start mining for you. When the timer runs out, the 11th day, you'll get your first payout. Now, before we break this down, guys, let me get out of this real quick. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to come back because I have a couple people on this call with me. And the first one I'm going to bring out is actually Greg Rogowski. Now, Greg, how are you tonight?
I have to unmute myself. Hello, it's great to be here. I'm very honored to be here, and I am very sorry to be like this.
Hey, it's okay, but I reached out to Greg.
Hello. You're very
Greg
quiet.
Greg had a problem with some flooding in his house, guys, but I brought him here because I wanted him to cover something, guys, because we have some crazy, crazy technology with this coin. 3 keys. Greg, tell people, when is this deal going live?
Okay, so we are jumping the gun here, but we want to announce it this week for this deal to go to be actually available this month. So what's going to happen? You see, you have 3 keys with Bitcoin Vault, and the first key is just a regular key. When you make a transaction, it just goes like a regular Bitcoin transaction. There is a second key, which is going to give you an instantaneous transaction. So if you want to buy a cup of coffee, if you want to use it in the real world, you can do it. But the third key is essential. And the third key is something that gives us a USP of the product, and it also gives us the future for the coin, because it allows you to retract the transaction within 24 hours. Had you written a wrong address of a wallet? Had the money not been passed to the person that you were sending it to because of some technical problems? Anything. It allows you to withdraw the money within 24 hours. You see, over $8 billion in Bitcoin and crypto, I think, not just Bitcoin, but crypto altogether, has been lost up till now because of erroneous transactions. You can't get that money back. So why is it important for Bitcoin Vault? Well, for any altcoin, it's very difficult to actually find a place in the market. But with a coin where you can have a secure transaction, you can actually offer it to institutions or individuals who want to make huge transactions, like a lot of money transferred securely over a period of time. If someone is transferring you $100 million in crypto, they can wait 24 hours. They can take their time, but they want to be absolutely sure that the transaction is secure and they're not going to lose the assets. So this is where we see the place, the niche for Bitcoin Vault in the future, which definitely is crypto. I mean, we have to actually stand up and say, if 2020 showed us anything, and it showed us many horrible things, it showed us separation, social distancing, many human tragedies, it has also shown us that the future is crypto, because this way of dealing financially doesn't involve any people, it doesn't involve institutions, it cannot be manipulated from the outside. This is a great way for the future of financial transactions. And the third key, the secure key, is this is going to be the first coin in the world to actually feature this. I know there are some coins that are trying to imitate this, but as Ari said before, I've been here for a couple of minutes now, we actually do have a real industry in place for Bitcoin Vault. We actually are mining it. We're actually buying machines. But most of all, we have a community, and that community provides us with economy. Last week, we had a price correction for Bitcoin Vault, and some people were trying to keep it really down, but it bounced back to a very secure level of support. That is only possible with a coin that has real industry behind it, not a pumped up coin, not a pump and dump scheme. But in all honesty, what we are trying to do now, what our last week taught us, and last week has been crazy, is that we need to actually show you more of the company, provide you more proof of mining, more proof of what we're doing. 2019, we've been able to do it because we were traveling the world and doing meeting face to face, and we were talking to people. We're actually taking them to the farms and showing them the farms physically, which is also a powerful message. It's a powerful thing to see a farm. This year, it has been impossible. Many clients have not seen the farms. So we need to show them the farms, and we need to ensure that we're doing real mining. We have a couple of ways of doing that. We are working on it right now. I think that Eyal would be the best person to talk about it because it's a mind-based thing, mining. But there's a talk of an app that will actually be able to show you if a coin you received into your wallet has been freshly mined or has it come from another wallet. If we apply it to Mining City and our mining plans, you can be 100% sure of where your coins come from. And then you know if we do real mining or if we're just giving you money that we have earned elsewhere. This is a revolutionary thing for a company of this type in the world. No one has ever done it. But we definitely need more transparency. We need more trust in this era of pandemic and of social distancing. Sorry. Yeah, I'm kind of rambling here because, like, on my mind I have a flooded basement. So forgive me if I seem a bit anxious, but yeah.
So, guys, listen, I interrupted Greg, and I've drug him onto this call because I knew he had something amazing to say. But, yes, you're right. You got something flooded in your basement. I want you to go handle that. But, guys, I want to say this.
Actually, if I may, like, guys, some of you may be here for the first time, so I welcome you to my home. I don't usually do these Zooms from home, but I'm actually at home. It's an old house, and I had some flooding last night, and there are people trying to pump the water out of my basement. So that's why it's all a bit hectic, but I actually wanted to come here to support Ari and support his message, but also it is very important right now. We learned that it is very important last week for us to present ourselves to you as much as possible. If you have a company where people are actually willing to put their names and their faces to the project that they're supporting, and they're not secretive, they don't hide behind wall of silence or firewalls of information, you can be more sure that the project they're supporting is honest and it is a real solid product. And I wanted to do that just because. Okay.
I appreciate that, Greg. Guys, listen to me. You heard me said earlier, though, the coin, all three keys. Is the new wallet ready also?
The new wallet, the new wallet is ready. But the question is when we are going, because, okay. I have to take it from okay, this is going to take longer than 5 minutes.
Okay, don't get into it too much. Skim over the top.
Like BTCV is the best performing digital asset ever in the history of the market, in the history of cryptocurrencies, in the history of every exchange in the world. It's the best performing. But like 2 weeks ago, it was $450. Now it's just $250. So $200 were corrected by the market. And although we're very happy with the performance of the coin, and because it was because of a huge sellout by a couple of whales, that means people who were holding a lot of money, and it may have been an attack of sorts. Doesn't really matter because the coin held to its own. But during last week, a lot of people were disappointed about the fall of the value. People were coming to me and say like, "Oh, well, I've lost so much money." You didn't lose any money because you actually started buying a coin when it was just $1. Now it's $250. You lost, some of the profits that you were supposed to be making. But it really doesn't matter. What we had to do all this week is we had to ensure people that we are standing by the project. So we are rushing. We are rushing with some features and some new add-ons to the coin that were supposed to be later. So the wallet is ready and it's going to be released very soon. I can't give you an ETA on that. This week we are going to announce on the 3 keys. And you're actually the first community to hear about it because I was not supposed to talk about it, I think. Well, it doesn't matter. It has to be announced anyway. We're going to do a huge campaign for this. We're going to actually get noticed on all the important sites. We want to be on Cointelegraph. We want to be on CoinDesk. We want to be everywhere where you talk about crypto because we want to get outside institutions interested in Bitcoin Vault, which is obviously going to bring up the value of the coin, and we want to have a greater volume in the exchanges. We are rushing with new exchanges, and obviously the Mining City 2.0, which is a better, faster, leaner, more efficient system for you to use. The coins, the wallet, I can't tell when the wallet is coming. The new system is coming on the September 9th. So that would be also a good time to actually launch the 3 keys. I don't know if we'll be ready with that, because we want to do it in conjunction with some exchanges as well, so that they can present it to the traders, so that traders actually use the coin for the internal trades of large quantities of money. We want it to be actually used in the real world. And one of the most important things that we want to do, new payment gateways. We actually want Bitcoin Vault to be exchangeable into real goods in the real world. You already have a company. There's a company. If someone wants to PM me and talk about it, I can give you some address of theirs or like contacts. But I don't want to do it. I don't want to promote anyone, but there's a company who's going to sell you like a boat or a car for Bitcoin Vault already. But now we're looking for something that is much more manageable in real life, computers, electronics, stuff like that. And if all goes well, by November of this year, we're going to actually have that. And that's going to be also very good for the coin and for the community as well, because someone doesn't have to cash in the coin. They can actually change it into goods. And for a lot of countries, that means actually wiggling out of a very hefty fiat connected tax, which is good.
And our debit card, I understand now, will also be able to spend BTC.
Okay, yes. If you already talked about it, because our community has been waiting for that product for so long. We have a debit card. It's going to be initially on the Bitcoin, and it's going to be Bitcoin Vault very soon as well. But we just had the tests of the card concluded, and it's going to be shipping within 2 months, and it's going to be available. So it's a new great product that we have, and I hope that this is going to be a huge success as well, because I don't think anything has been done like this on this scale before. But just similar to Bitcoin Vault, because Bitcoin Vault has never been done. No coin has been launched on this scale as well. So we expect good things for that. But the worst thing about it is we have so many exciting things going on. There's so many exciting things happening. The correction, the markets, the new exchanges, the new features. And we can only talk about it through Zooms. So the most important thing is, although we can't do like many people, we can't take them to Kazakhstan, we can't take many people to Poland. Whoever wants to come, whoever has a chance to come to Poland to visit our offices, or Kazakhstan to visit our farms, you're welcome. We will welcome you. We will help you organize the trip. We will help you visit the farms. We will show you around, so that you are totally satisfied that this is a legitimate company, that we're real people, not just 4 guys somewhere in the basement, working with the keyboards and creating algorithms for false coins. We need you to see the real industry, and we want you to be confident in what you're getting into.
Yep, absolutely. Greg, I want to say thank you for your time. Gave us a lot of information, but get back to that basement.
Thank you. I'm very sorry it's so rushed. I'm very sorry I'm so casual, but you don't deserve it. It should be like more professional from me. But I'm really like I've got like flip-flops on, and I have to go down to the basement now.
No, all good, man. I'll see you in Warsaw soon enough, buddy.
Okay, Ari, I can't wait to see you. Promise being in Warsaw, please come. Okay?
I'm coming, I promise, for sure.
Thank you, guys. Bye. Cześć. Wow.
Bye. All right, buddy. All right, guys, listen, before I jump into that, and I got another guest on here, but I want to answer a couple questions. First off, this question, Anders Danken asked, how can they predict how many coins will be mined every year? Let me answer that question for you. 144 blocks are awarded every day. Every block is 150 coins. After November 2020, guess what? It'll be 125 coins. To be able to predict how many coins are going to be mined is very simple, because it's just basic math. It's 144 blocks times however many coins are being in the block reward. It's simple math, guys. This is not science. It's not brain surgery. This is easy. A calculator will go a long ways in helping people understand basics, but we have a new tool. So let's talk about this tool, because for all of you out there that are just thinking about buying mining and not doing anything, this is the page you guys should be paying attention to. It's called miningapp.me. So let's say that you come over here, you click on plans, you can choose a plan. So if somebody buys a $300 plan, that's roughly going to pay them about $1.23 a day, $36.91 a month. Okay. And so you got about little less than 10 months, 9 months, you're basically paid off, and then you're into profit. $600 plan. It's going to pay you, whoops, let's see here. What happened here? $600 plan. That didn't change. So let me come back up here and change it again. Okay. So let's go to 600. I might have to refresh, guys. I apologize. Doesn't work quite the same on my phone actually as it does here on my screen. So let me close this down real quick. Change this back to English. So go to plans. Okay, $600 plan is roughly going to pay you $2.48, $74.41 a day, or I mean a month. $1,200 plan. Let's refresh that again so you guys can see all these. I think it's really important that you guys actually know and can see this. Okay, so let me come on back down to English one more time. Go to plans. Okay, at a $1,200 plan, you're making $4.96 a day, $148 a day. Let's refresh one more time. Okay, so we go to plans. Oops, get out of here. Okay, so now you're down here at the $2,400 plan. That makes you about $10 almost a day, $297 a month. And guys, the next two are the ones that are eye openers. I'm just telling you, pay attention right here because this is where the money starts to really come in. If somebody comes in, they buy a $4,200 plan. They're basically making $17.36 a day, $520 a month. And if you guys come in and you buy the best plan, which is, the big boy, guys, that's the $12,600 plan. I actually own 4 of these plans, and this is spot on, word for word, guys. $57 a day, $1,711 per month off mining. And that's after the price drop. Now, I'm going to make a bold statement. Go out there and find me one coin that you can mine for $12,000 that will pay you more than $1,711. I'll wait because I don't think there's one out there. This coin, from everything that I've looked at in profitability, is the #1 most profitable coin on the planet to mine right now. Now, currently we've got 10.172 exahash of power. You can also confirm that by coming to explorer.bitcoinvault.global, 10.172 exahash. We've got 7.8 million coins in the market and 1.779 market cap right now. The coin is at $226 right now. So guys, all of the plans I just showed you and all of the earnings are based on this coin being $226.91. Okay. The other side of that, you guys, if I come over here, I refresh this. There you go. You're going to ask me, gosh, why is the market cap not showing? Why is the circulating supply? Because the API from this website right now is turned off. Now, originally when we turned that off, we turned it off for a reason. We didn't want the market being manipulated. And tonight on this call, I have with me somebody who is one of the best traders I know, one of the best analysts in the business that I know, and also an owner of an exchange. He's not just your average guy. He makes $90,000 on average every single month trading crypto. So I want you to hear what he has to say about this coin and that situation. And that's my main man, Dwayne Noble. Dwayne, are you there? Dwayne, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you see me?
There we go, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. I think it's really important for people to know that, price is always relative. In fact, I tell people price is not even the most important thing trading. You think it is, but it's not. So price is always relative. When Ari gave you those figures of coins, it really doesn't matter what the price is today. It matters what the price is when you go to sell them. So whenever we're saying, you'll make $17 a day or $57 a day, that's if you took the coins you mined today and took them to the market and sold them. The thing that I love about mining is because the price that you sell them is probably not going to be at today's price. The coins you mine today, you're going to have those coins as long as you don't sell them, as long as you're going to have them tomorrow. You're going to have them 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road. So if this coin is $5,000, $10,000, you look back retroactively, you didn't really make $57 for that day or $17 for that day. You made, $100 a lot more than that. You made thousands of dollars for the day. And so, price is all relative. And I think it's, we have a strategy that we implement. And I tell people we do it because it's healthy for the company. It protects us from downside. It's healthy for all of us. And what I encourage people to do is keep half, sell half, keep half, sell half. The half that they sell, I encourage them to put buy orders back in the market down lower. And there's a reason for that. Do you mind if I share my screen for a second, Ari?
No, please go ahead, brother.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And there's a reason for this. Let's see if I can share it. Do you see my screen?
I don't yet, actually. Let's see if, I don't see it popping up. So here's what happens. Whenever you click on share screen, you got to click the blue button when it pops open, and then I got to add it. So go ahead and try it again.
Okay. Let me go back over here. Okay. Oh, I got to hit share. Okay. Okay, let me go hit cancel. And let me go hit share. Share screen. Okay. It says, which would you like to share?
Just select the screen, the big image on the top, and then hit the blue button, and it'll share it all.
Your entire screen.
Yep.
And for some reason, it's not letting me, but that's okay. I can go ahead and I'll just talk it out. How about that? It's not
fine.
For some reason. I like to draw it out. The most important thing, guys, in trading, does anybody have any idea what it is? When institutional investors are looking at getting in something, there's a few things. One is we want to know that the people behind the company are good. We want to know that it's a good technology, it's a good project, that more volume, more investors, more people are going to be coming aboard. We want to know that there's growth there. And then more importantly than anything, once we know those things, we want to know that there's demand and there's liquidity. We want to know there's volume. In fact, I preach it so often. Volume is the most important thing trading. What a coin does in price really doesn't matter, because without the volume, I see it all the time. You look at it in the penny stocks market. You can look at it in the crypto market. You'll see a coin fly up 300, 400, 1,000% in a day. Penny stocks, same ways. But it really doesn't matter if they're flying up there on little volume, because while you can get into the trade doesn't necessarily mean you can get out at that price. And so what we implement is this strategy to be able to support the market on down. You see, as institutional investors trade, hedge funds, for instance, they don't put that entire hedge fund all in trades. Everybody thinks they must make a killing putting it all in trades. They don't do that. They put a small piece of that hedge fund in trades. What's more important is what they do with the remaining balance. What they do with the remaining balance is they put orders in the books on down. Why do they put those orders there? Well, a few reasons. They put them there in case it does come down and does crash down. They can cost average. It protects them. It provides insurance. And they also put those orders there to show demand and show support for the money that they're trading at the top. Because if they can show support for that money, they're going to make a lot more money off of the money at the top. The way that I describe it is, we all know Amazon, for instance. Amazon's a good company, right? We all know Amazon does tons, a lot of business, rakes in tons of profit. Well, Amazon stock right now is about $3,000 a share. I think it's actually $3,400 a share. If you're an investor and you go look at that price and you say it's $3,400 a share, and then you go look at the books and the only offers are down at $100, where are you going to put your offer? You're not going to put it at $3,200, $3,100. You're not going to even put it at $1,000. You're going to put it at $101, right? And then the next investor comes along and he says, "Oh my gosh, Amazon looks like a great company." Goes, looks where the offers are, and he sees there's an offer there at $101. I need to put mine at $102, and so forth and so on. And so you build this support in the price. And I think it's really important that we as a community build that support in the Bitcoin vault price. You know, crypto is a different kind of animal than any other market. And the fact that when people go in crypto, they go all in. They go all in. They don't support orders. They don't support the market. They depend on others to come in and rally the market up. If we can really help this support this market on the way up, guess what? You don't see those wild swings in price, because as investors, as Ale and Greg get out the word about the technology, and they go hit the publications and the blogs and the CNBCs and all those good media outlets saying, hey, we've got this new crypto technology, and investors say, man, I got to take a look at that. They go look at the books, and guess what? There's support. They see a ton of support. So guess where they're putting their buys? They're going to want to get their buys there above where everybody else is. And it's support is so vital in the market. I can't emphasize it enough. You know, going up the charts is great, but going up the charts with that support, stacking that support up the chart as you go up, is absolutely incredible. You know, going back to the Amazon example. So you have all these companies that trade, and what happens, you have this immediate demand at the top. But when that immediate demand dries out and the market comes down, it's going to look to see where is the support orders, where's the offers at. And guys, that's really important, because one thing I think people need to realize in trading with anything, guys, we start out at zero, but we're always working back towards zero. In this life, we start out at zero. We're always working back to zero. Everything on this planet starts at zero, and guess where it ends back up? At zero. I don't care if it's Walmart. I don't care if it's McDonald's. I don't care if it's Bitcoin Vault. Everything in this world comes to an end. So one day, everything will end back up at zero. It may not happen in our lifetime, but you're really dealing with gravity. You know, the market's always wanting to come back down. So you're dealing with gravity. So you got to have those support orders. So when that immediate demand dries up at the top and it comes back down, it says, oh my gosh, there's an offer right there. And then it comes back down again and it says, oh, there's offers here. And then all of a sudden they say, oh my gosh, this company's growing. It's brought on a boatload of new customers. And boom, we go back up the charts. Okay. To understand how the market works is vitally important. So what I suggest is a strategy that we use very effectively. And what this does is it helps the company, it helps you, it helps the amount of Bitcoin Vault you have, and it also protects you from the downside. So what I suggest people do is when they mine, doesn't have to be every day, it could be once a week, take your earnings over to the exchange, and if you don't know how to do that, get with us, we can show you. Keep half of your Bitcoin Vault. Why? If it goes up more, you want to have the upside. Also sell half, but the half that you sell, put a buyback in the market for anywhere from 25 to 50% below the current price. So take whatever the current price is, cut it in half, put your buy order there. Or if you want to be a little safer, take and subtract 25% from the current price. Put your buy order there. It may come down to it, it may not, and that's fine. The important thing is that we're supporting this market, because without support, the money that you have at top is not able to make as much money. If we can support this market, the market goes up more, and the half that you're keeping, you know, you make a lot more profit on. Guess what? If it comes down, no harm, no foul. Why? We just pick up more coins. In fact, if you put your orders 25% below the current price and it comes back there, you're going to make 50% more Bitcoin Vault than what you sold. So if you sell 2 Bitcoin Vault, it comes back 25%, you have a buy order there, guess what? You're going to get back 3 Bitcoin Vault. If you have your price at 50% of the market, comes back there, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get double. So if you sell 2 Bitcoin Vault, market falls 50% from where you sell, you're picking up another 4 Bitcoin Vault. If you implement this strategy, it provides support on the way up, and also it protects you from the downside. And I think that that's so vitally important that people understand those things. All right, is there anything else you wanted me to cover on that?
No, actually, what Dwayne just said, guys, I want to bring this into light. So look, here's a reality. A lot of us have done this in the past. You got Bitcoin, you got rich in Bitcoin in the very beginning. You want to turn it into cash. You go over to the market, you sell off your Bitcoin. But a lot of people didn't pay attention. They just sold it, took the cash and left. Some of us paid very much attention, guys. And when Bitcoin dropped, we put orders in to buy again. Why did we do that? Because that allowed us to go out, guys, and get more Bitcoin than we had just sold at a cheaper price, and it stabilized the coin. Like last week we were talking about, we had this little attack where it was coordinated people basically driving down the price. Now, let's be real. If that happened in the stock market, they'd be going to jail. If it happened in any market around the world, they'd be going to jail. But crypto's not regulated like the stock market. So when people start manipulating coins so they can buy them back low, that's what they're trying to do. That's the nature of the game. It's an open market, guys. And this is what we're telling you to do and understand is if you guys actually go out and you sell some Bitcoin Vault and then you put an order in to buy it cheaper, even if it's 20 or 30% cheaper, you just made 20 or 30% on your money. That's the smart way to do it, because then the market doesn't crash. And guess what also happens? You pick up more Bitcoin Vault and you make more profit.
Exactly. And Bitcoin's a prime example, guys. Bitcoin blasted up the chart in 2017, had that immediate demand there. But when that immediate demand dried up, guess where all the offers were? They were much, much lower. And what I want to see us do is grow quicker, because with those support orders, it helps us grow quicker. It also, guess what it also does, Ari? It also increases daily volume when you sell. So when you're increasing the daily volume, that's a very, very good thing for investors too. They like to see that liquidity. They like to see that daily volume. Why? Because as a traditional investor, when you go looking to get in something, whether it's a stock, whether it's a crypto, whether it's a commodity, you want to know there's volume. You want to know that you can buy when you want to buy and you can sell when you want to sell. And so if you can help increase that daily volume, it helps us even more as well. So everybody that thinks I'm just going to hoard my Bitcoin Vault, I'm just going to hodl it, and I'm not going to sell any because I don't want to bring down the price. It's not how the market works. It's actually good if you sell a little bit, as long as the money doesn't leave the market. As long as you're putting buy orders back in the market, it is a very, 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 very good thing. And we're very, very effective with it. When it was coming down, guys, as a trader, I knew it was coming down. Guess what I did? I sold part of my Bitcoin Vault. Why? Because I knew I was going to make more Bitcoin Vault. So I think it's really important. This is part of risk management, guys. When you understand risk management, you understand trading. Because when I look at something, I look at risk. I look at what can go wrong. Doesn't mean it will go wrong, but it's really important to prepare for that. You look at Bitcoin Vault and you say, this is a rock solid company. And it's a great company. It is a rock solid company with the best technology I've ever seen in the crypto market. Phenomenal technology. But there's outside factors too. We know this world is in chaos. What happens if, God forbid, another country wanted to start a war with Kazakhstan? Now, Kazakhstan's a real solid country. But guys, that's a possibility. Country could start a war with Kazakhstan, the mining farm gets destroyed, yada, yada, yada. Not saying that's going to happen. But when you understand how to manage your risk, you really understand how you can dominate and make bank. Every company has risk. I don't care if you're Amazon. I don't care if you're Walmart. I don't care if you're McDonald's. I don't care who you are. There is a risk to everything. And the way I analyze risk, the analogy I give people is, and this is probably the best one, when you walk out the door in the morning, there's risk with everything you do in life. When you go to the grocery store to get your groceries, you get in your car and go to the grocery store, guess what? You're taking a risk. Why? You could be in a car wreck on the way to the grocery store. You could be severely injured, or you could be killed. But it doesn't prevent you from getting in your car and going to the grocery store. No, when you get in your car, you buckle your seatbelt, you go the speed limit, maybe a little above, for those of us that like to speed a little, but we watch out for other drivers. We don't blow through stoplights. We don't blow through stop signs. We don't drive 100 miles an hour down the highway after having a case of beer. No, we take a calculated risk. We do it in a safe fashion. Guys, the market is no different. So when you learn how to do it in a safe fashion, you really start making bank. And it's a very good idea to support your orders, to support your money that you have in the market at the top. So, guys, we're gonna do some awesome things. I'm working with the company to help on the trading side and whatnot. And man, I can't wait for what the future has in store for Bitcoin. It's not, guys, I'm going to tell you this technology is freaking awesome. When you solve the problem of theft, of stealing in the crypto market, guys, that is a huge, you've accomplished a huge feat. And you have the same limited supply as Bitcoin. It's not unthinkable that this couldn't catch Bitcoin. And it's not even outlandish that this coin couldn't overtake Bitcoin. Is it going to do it overnight? Certainly not. But as more and more people find out about this, guess what's going to happen? It's only going to get better and better. If you're an individual or you're an institution, you got to ask yourself one simple question. Would you rather have your money in a coin that if it's stolen, you can never retrieve it? Or would you rather have your money in a coin, your store of value, in a coin that if it's stolen, you can retrieve it with the push of a button? Once you understand that, you understand how big this coin is going to be and how much potential it has. So with that, Ari, I'll turn it back over to you.
I appreciate that, man. Guys, look, you're talking about a guy that literally does close to $100,000 a month in trading in profits. Now, that in itself is massive. Okay. And guys, I'm so appreciative that both Greg and both Dwayne were out here and able to talk about this. But let's get back to the task at hand and let's show you guys how you can make some money. Because if you came here tonight, let's face it, that's what you came here for. Okay. So let's break open the presentation again. Let's talk about the marketing plan, guys. And this is one of the most exciting things for me to share because there's a lot of money here. Now, I'm going to tell you up front, we're about to have a comp plan change where CP4 and 5 will go away. They'll be replaced with something else. So the only thing I'm going to talk about is CP1, 2, and 3. These three things. And I promise you, these three things are going to be able to make you so much money, you're not even going to be concerned about CP4 or 5. So first off, when somebody comes into Mining City, the only thing they have to do is buy a plan. Plans are exactly the same, whether they're Bitcoin or Bitcoin Vault. 300 gives you 3 terahash, 600 gives you 6 terahash, 1200 gives you 12 terahash, 2400 gives you 24 terahash, 4200 gives you 42 terahash. All of these plans are $100 per terahash, but this plan is is basically it gives you a $12,600 plan, gives you a 126 terahash and a 12 terahash bonus for a total of 138 terahash. So it's down to $93 and change. Okay. Very simple. When you guys join, the number one focus for you is to jump ranks. That's the very biggest side of this, because if you don't jump ranks, you're going to lose massive amounts of money, but it's not that hard. Okay, so when you become a resident, you buy a $300 plan. That's it. A citizen, you buy a $600 plan. You're a citizen. But to become a city builder, you got to have a $600 plan. You got to sponsor 5 citizens or 5 people that bought a $600 plan, and you have to have $12,000 in total team volume, and that'll make you a builder. As a city developer, you have to own a $600 plan. You have to have sponsored 5 citizens. You have to have $60,000 in your team tree volume. And you have to have 3 city builders in your team tree with at least 1 in your team A. Now, right now, you don't know what team A is, but I'm going to explain that to you in a minute, okay? And then you, as a city manager, you have to have $2,400 in mining. You have to have sponsored 5 citizens. You got to have $300,000 in team volume. And you have to have 3 city developers in your team tree with at least 1 in team A. And your city chief manager, I want to give a shout out to Aditha Antolan. She just became a city chief manager. You have to have at least $4,200 in personal purchase volume. and you have to have sponsored 5 citizens, $600 and above, and you have to have $2.4 million in total team volume with at least 3 city managers in your team A and at least 1 coming from your, 3 city managers in your team tree and at least 1 in your team A. As a city mayor, you have to own $12,600 in mining. You have to have sponsored 5 people. You have to have $12 million in total team volume. You have to have 3 city chief managers in your team tree, at least 1 in team A. And governor, you have to have $13,800 in personal purchases, 5 people sponsored as a citizen or above, $100 million in team tree volume, and you have to have 3 city mayors in your team tree with at least 1 in team A. Now, guys, look, people say this is not doable. It's already been done, okay? We already have a guy who's already done this not once or twice, but I believe 3 or 4 times, and that's Neil Park. And I think we actually are pretty close to having another person pop at that also. So let me get back out here so I can get this all on the screen. So your team tree. So let's talk about that. Your team tree is really your unilevel. So you understand there's 2 sides of the comp plan, binary and unilevel. So your team tree as your unilevel, your first 5 people that join are automatically placed in your team A. Those people are very important because one of these people in your team A has to rank up with you every time for you to rank up. Your team B is positioned 6 to infinity. 6 to infinity. You also have a little bonus down here in your team BA structure, and we're going to talk about that in a second. In your binary tree, though, it operates off points. So now everybody's placed automatically in the unilevel or the team tree, but everybody in your binary you place, and you want to balance them based on points. So you have even points left and right. And the reason that's important is every 5 points that you have on the left and every 5 points you have on the right will create a cycle, and that will pay you $200, which is actually quite easy to get because when somebody buys a $300 plan, you're going to get half a point. $600 plan is going to give you 1. A bronze package, $1,200, will give you 2 points. Silver for $2,400 will give you 4. Gold will give you 7 points. The platinum package will give you 21. So if somebody bought 2 platinums, 1 left, 1 right, that's actually $800 in your pocket on cycling, guys. And you can actually see how that works just watching this little screen. So let me explain. So let's say this is you. You went out and sponsored yourself for the first position on your left and your first position on your right, and you created this little thing called a tripod. But now you work from your lower 2 positions. So this guy goes out and signs up a 4,200. This one signs up a 4,200, 7 and 7, 14 points here on the left, 7 points here on the left, 7 points on the right. Now over here, you have 11 points, which came from this position, selling a 2,400 for 4 points, selling a 4,200 for 7. So you got 7 and 4. That's not a cycle, but 7 and 7 is a cycle. So now you made $200 here, plus you got 14 and 11, 10 and 10. That's another $400. That's $600 in income right there. And you also have this thing called your, which is your binary tree bonus, guys, what I was just talking about. So every time somebody basically points, 5 points left, 5 points right, you're going to cycle. And the cool part is, guys, look, if your cycles are mixed where somebody bought a Bitcoin plan and a Bitcoin vault plan, then your bonus could also be split. Like I have $1,600 a day that I can cycle every day. I cycle $1,600 every day. But a couple times I've got $1,580 in Bitcoin vault and $20 in Bitcoin because I had one little straggler down the line somewhere that bought a Bitcoin plan. It happens, but you're still getting paid your full $1,600. So as you actually cycle, this is the nice part. As a resident, you can cycle 1 time a day, make $200. As a citizen, you can cycle 4 times a day, make $800 a day. As a city builder, 5 times for $1,000. City developer, 6 for $1,200. City manager, 8 for $1,600, which is where I'm at right now. City chief manager, which is where Aditya just got to, 10 times per day, $2,000 a day. City mayor, 12 times, $2,400. Governor, 14 times, $2,800. And guys, let me just say this. Look, 14 cycles a day, $2,800 a day is almost $1 million a year. And most people would be very happy with that. But here's the crazy part. That's the small side of the comp plan. That's the smallest side. Okay, you also have this thing called the binary matching bonus. So now this is actually based on your unilevel. So can I help you guys understand? So anytime you sign up somebody in your unilevel, your first person that you sign up is your first level. When they sign up somebody, that's the second level. When they sign up somebody, that's the third. When they sign up somebody, that's the fourth, and all the way down. So here's the cool part on the binary matching bonus. Every time somebody in your unilevel up to your level allows, like right now as a city manager, I have 8 levels. So anybody that cycles within 8 levels in their binary that are in my 8 levels of my unilevel, I get a $10 check match. And that little check match has been more than the $1,600 cycle a few times. So that part actually gets to be very lucrative. But as you climb ranks, it becomes insanely lucrative, guys. As a governor, you could actually cycle enough to make $612,900 a month off the $10 check matches. That's 6 times more lucrative, maybe even 7, than the actual $2,800 max of cycling per day. So this is very, very lucrative. And then you have what we call the plan bonus. Okay, the plan bonus happens off this BA structure. So first off, your team A, anybody you sign up in your team A, you're going to make 5% commissions on. But anybody that goes in your team B from 6 to infinity, you're going to make 10% on. So a lot of you are probably sitting there going, gosh, what happened to that 5% difference? Let me show you where it went. It went into your BA structure. So now anybody in your team A, in their team A, you make a 5% override on those people. Okay, that you make 5%. And that's massive, guys, because here's the cool part. As a citizen, you get 10 levels. As a city builder, you get 15. As a city developer, you get 20. City manager, right now, I got 30 levels. But city chief manager, city mayor, and governor, there are no level limits. So there is mad money to be made from that structure, guys. Mad money. Okay? I want you guys to understand. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. You guys have seen everything. You've seen the comp plan. You've heard from Dwayne. You've heard from Greg. You know the coin is coming. The cat is out of the bag. All the information is coming, guys. And I can tell you up front, I'm here for the long haul. When the coin dropped last week, I didn't get scared at all. When people came to me to ask me questions, guys, the picture is quite obvious. All you have to do is go look up the Bitcoin chart from 2009 to 2013, 4 years. It was crazy, up and down. I mean, guys, look, I turned off my equipment in 2012 because Bitcoin took a nosedive in the very beginning in 2012, and I said, I'm not mine in 2012. I'm going to tell you today in front of everybody, that was the biggest, dumbest mistake of my life, because here's why this is important. The coin does not matter, the value of it. It does not matter right now. What matters is you're getting paid in Bitcoin Vault every day. So all of a sudden, what happened to me in Bitcoin hit $1,000 in 2013. When it hit $1,000 in 2013, here's what I want you to understand. The coins that I had mined at $5, at $10, at $100, at $200, at $500, all of those coins were now worth $1,000. This is where people get caught up in the short term. They look at a coin and they say, it's only worth $230. And they think, oh, we're not going to make much money with that, even though right now mining this coin is still the most lucrative coin to mine on the market. But if you're smart and you start hodling or hold on for dear life, you hang on to some of those coins, what will happen to you is exactly what happened to me in Bitcoin. And that's when the coin starts back up. Okay. The increase, guys, is where I made my money, because I had a bunch of coins that I had mined that didn't have a lot of value to them at the time I mined them. If I made $10 all year in 2011, that was a miracle. They didn't have any value, but I kept mining. 2012, I was dumb enough to turn it off because my electricity bill was going up. I wish I had kept mining, because that was my biggest mistake in 2012. I will never stop again. 2013, I came back strong, and I've never stopped since, guys. And I'm telling you, that's why I've made so much money. It's why so many people in the market have made so much money. All you have to do is get involved and buy a plan. Get back with the person that invited you to the video and get started. And I'm going to tell you up front, if you have questions, if you have doubts, before you go back to that person, I want you to do me a favor and reach out to me direct. Let me help you answer your questions and show you the proof. Then you go back to that person and get signed up. I don't compete with my team. So anybody that is on my team, if they've brought you here, guys, and got you to watch this, I'm open door for you. Use me. Let me communicate with you. Let me help you. That's what this is all about, guys. We'll help you build. We'll help you blossom, and we'll help you grow your Bitcoin vault. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation tonight. We've been here an hour and 15 minutes. Guys, have a great night, and I will see you on the flip side in the group Crypto Wealth Club. Have a good night.